गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन ब्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीरवनचारी 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 जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन ब्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीरवनचारी यशोदनन्दन ब्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीरवनचारी। Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees to our today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, the chapter entitled as Answers by Citing the Lord's Version, text number 18. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Please repeat after me. Taddarshanāhlāda pariplutantaro Taddarshanāhlāda pariplutantaro Prushattanu prema barashtulochana Prushattanu prema barashtulochanaha Nanātmapadāmbujamasya vishvasruk Nanāmapadāmbujamasya vishvasruk Yat Paramahamsena patadi gamyate Yat Paramahamsena patadi gamyate Taddarshanāhlāda pariplutantaro Prushattanu prema barashtulochanaha Nanāmapadāmbujamasya vishvasruk Yat Paramahamsena patadi gamyate Taddarshanāhlāda pariplutantaro हृष्यत्तनु प्रेम बराश्रुलोचना ननामपादाम्बुजमस्य विश्वसृक् यत्पारमहंसेन पतादिगम्यते दर्शनाह्लादपरिप्लुतान्तरो हृष्यत्तनु प्रेम बराश्रुलोचना ननामपादाम्बुजमस्य विश्वसृक् यत्पारमहंसेन पतादिगम्यते तद्दर्शनाह्लादपरिप्लुतान्तरो हृष्यत्तनु प्रेम बराश्रुलोचनः ननामपादाम्बुजमस्य विश्वसृक् यत्पारमहंसेन पतादिगम्यते. Matajis. तद्दर्शनाह्लादपरिप्लुतान्तरो हृष्यत्तनु प्रेम बराश्रुलोचना ननामपादाम्बुजमस्य विश्वसृक् यत्नादमंसेन पतादिगम्यते. तद्दर्शनाह्लादपरिप्लुतान्तरो हृष्यत्तनु प्रेम बराश्रुलोचना ननामपादाम्बुजमस्य विश्वसृक् यत्पारमहंसेन पतादिगम्यते. Word to word meaning. Tat, by that audience of the Lord. Darshana, audience. Ahlada, joy. Paripluta, overwhelmed. Antaraha, within the heart. Hrishyat, full in ecstasy. Tanuhu, body. Prema bara, in full transcendental love. Ashru, tears. Lochanaha, in the eyes. Nanama, bowed down. Padambujam, under the lotus feet. Asya, of the Lord. Vishwasruk, the creator of the universe. Yat, which. Paramahamsena, by the great liberated soul. Pata, the path. Adigamyate, is followed. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Krishna Kripa Murti Abhay Charna Aravinda Bhaktivinoda Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Lord Brahma, thus, seeing the personality of Godhead in his fullness, was overwhelmed with joy within his heart. And thus, in full transcendental love and ecstasy, his eyes filled with tears of love, he thus bowed down before the Lord. That is the way of the highest perfection for the living being, Paramahamsa. Purport. In the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that in this great literature is meant for the Paramahamsas, Paramo Nirmasaranam Satam. That is, the Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for persons completely free from malice. In the conditioned life, the malicious life begins from the top, namely, bearing the malice against the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Personality of Godhead is an established fact in all the revealed scriptures. And in the Bhagavad Gita, the personal feature of the Supreme Lord is especially mentioned. So much so that the last portion of the great literature as emphatically stresses that one should surrender unto the personality of Godhead to be saved from the miseries of life. Unfortunately, persons with impious backgrounds do not believe in the personality of Godhead, and everyone wants to become God himself without any qualification. This malicious nature in the conditioned soul continues even up to the stage when a person wants to be one with the Lord. And thus, even the greatest of the empiric philosophers speculating on becoming one with the Supreme Lord cannot become a Paramahamsa because the malicious mind is there. Therefore, the Paramahamsa stage of life can be attained only by those who are fixed in the practice of Bhakti Yoga. This Bhakti Yoga begins if a person has the firm conviction that simply discharging devotional service to the Lord in full transcendental love can elevate one to the highest perfectional stage of life. Brahmaji believed in this art of Bhakti Yoga. He believed in the instructions of the Lord to execute tapa, and he discharged the function with great penance and thus achieved the great success of seeing the Supreme Lord and Vaikuntha Lokas, also by personal experience. No one can reach the abode of the Supreme Lord by any mechanical means of the mind or machine, but one can reach the abode of Vaikuntha Lokas simply by following the process of Bhakti Yoga, because the Lord can be realized only through the Bhakti Yoga process. Lord Balramji was actually sitting, Lord Brahmaji was actually sitting on his lotus seat, and from there, by executing the process of Bhakti Yoga in great seriousness, he could see the Vaikuntha Lokas with all variegatedness as well as the Lord in person and his associates. Following the footsteps of Lord Brahma, any person even up to this day can attain the same perfection by following the path of the Paramahamsas as recommended here. Lord Chaitanya also approved of this method of self-realization for men in this age. One should first, with all conviction, believe in the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, and without making efforts to realize him by speculative philosophy, one should prefer to hear about him from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and later from the text of Srimad Bhagavatam. One should hear such discourses from a person Bhagavatam and not from the professional man or from the karmi, jnani or yogi. That is the secret learning the science. That is the secret of learning the science. One does not need to be in the renounced order of life. He can remain in his present condition of life. But he must search out the association of a bona fide devotee of the Lord and hear from him the transcendental message of the Lord with faith and conviction. That is the path of the Paramahamsa recommended herein. Among his various holy names of the Lord, he is also called Ajita, or one who can never be conquered by anyone else. Yet, he can be conquered by the Paramahamsa path, as practically realized and shown by the great spiritual master Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma has personally recommended this Paramahamsa Pantaha in his own words as follows. Jnane prayasa mudapasya namanta eva jivanti san mukaritam bhavadiya vartam sthane stita shrutigatan tanuvan manobir e prayaso jitajito apitais trilokyam. Lord Brahma said, "O my Lord Krishna, a devotee who abandons the path of empiric philosophical speculation aimed at merging in the existence of the Supreme and engages himself in hearing your glories and activities from a bona fide sadhu or saint, and who lives an honest life in the occupational engagement of the social life, can conquer your sympathy and mercy, even though you are Ajita or unconquerable." Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, Text 3. That is the path of the Paramahamsas, which was personally followed by Lord Brahma and later recommended by him for attaining perfect success in life. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamcha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Lalita Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamsha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dhinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. So before beginning to utter any word, I would like to seek all of your prayers and blessings and permission to speak few words, to express few thoughts of mine on this particular topic. So here, today we are reading text number 18, very interesting verse. Taddarsha nahlada pariplutantaro Krishyatanu prema bararshtu lochana nanama padambuja masya vishwasrug yat paramahamsena patadi gamyate. So here we see the response from Lord Brahma having had the darshan of Vaikuntha, the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with the residents of Vaikuntha, the different variety of Vaikuntha Vasis, along with their concerts, along with their residences in the form of Vimanas, and then how Mother Lakshmi constantly engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, being assisted by many of her friends. And finally, Lord Brahma sees Lord Vishnu, the four-handed form of Lord Vishnu, is beautiful darshan. Having had experienced the form of the Lord, having had witnessed the opulence of Vaikuntha, having had experienced the presence of Vaikuntha Vasis, how they are engaged in service of Supreme Lord all the way up to Mother Lakshmi, Brahma is exhibiting his symptoms. How? Tad darshana ahlada pariplutantaro. He was experiencing intense joy within the core of the heart. Paripluta antara, within the core of the heart. And then, what kind of experience is going within is coming out in the form of Prushyatanu. The hairs of the body are standing on end. The whole body is kampan ho raha hai. And then, Prema bara ashru lochana. The eyes are filled with tears. What kind of tears? Prema bara. The tears filled with intense love. And then, what Brahma can do? For what he received, he can only offer obeisance to Supreme Lord. He simply falls flat, offers obeisances to Lord Brahma. Nanama padambujam asya Vishwasrug. Who is Brahma? Brahma is introduced as Vishwasrug, the creator of the universe. The reason is, Brahma performed a great tapasya for 1000 celestial years. Not one day, 2 days. One celestial year is equal to 360 human years. That means 360,000 human years. Tapasya he performed. For what purpose? Not for getting something from the Lord. Just to serve the Lord. Just to begin the service of the Lord. Just to understand what kind of service the Lord wants me to render for His pleasure. He performed a sincere tapasya for a long time, for 1000 celestial years. So, this is the way Brahma is engaged in his devotional service, for which Lord gave his own darshan. Lord gave his darshan of his own abode. So Brahmaji, in return, being very much satisfied, offers full obeisances, full dandavat. And in the process, it is understood that Lord Brahma is touching the lotus feet of Supreme Lord. Nanama padambujam asya Vishwasrug. Of course, he is offering obeisance to Lord's lotus feet, and we can also think that he is touching the lotus feet of the Lord. It is said that yat Paramahamsena patadi gamyate. This is what everyone, whoever following in the path of Paramahamsas, want to attain. Ultimately, getting the darshan and shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the Paramahamsas have only one and only ambition. Ultimately, they want to go back home, back to Godhead, and able to be in the association of the Supreme Lord, so that they can render personal service to the Supreme Lord for the rest of eternity. And that can be attained by following the path of Paramahamsas. The path of Paramahamsas is Bhakti Yoga. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada mainly talks about 2 points. One point is about the acceptance or existence of the personal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Many people talk about Lord has no personality, no form. But in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Bhagavatam, again and again it is established that Lord has form. And here is the direct example. This entire chapter is an example of that. And the second is, Yat Paramahamsena patadi gamyate. One should always follow in the footsteps of Paramahamsas like Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is an example of one such Paramahamsas. Just like Lord Brahma attained darshan of Lord Vishnu, service of Lord Vishnu, like that anyone and everyone can attain the darshan and service of Lord Vishnu, if one makes an endeavor to go in this particular path. So these are the 2 themes of this particular purport. So taking reference from this, we'll try to discuss little bit from Srimad Bhagavatam, especially Canto 1, Canto 2. Srimad Bhagavatam is all about how the different kind of Paramahamsas practiced Bhakti and attained Bhagavan. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, while writing, he quotes one verse from Puranas, wherein it says that Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be the commentary of Brahma Sutras, commentary of Gayatri, and it also explains the meaning of the Vedas, the meaning of Mahabharata, etc. At the end, it says that Bhagavatam has in total 100 sections. In a way, it talks about 100 pastimes. In Sanskrit, there is a logic. It is called Tripishta Kapinjalanaya. In Sanskrit, when you say one, means one. When you say two, means two. When you say three, it can be three, it can be four, it can be five, it can be 10, it can be 100, it can be 1 lakh, 1 crore or anything. Ekavachan, Dvivachan and Bahuvachan. There is no Trivachan, Chaturvachan. So when you say something 3 times, it is equal to unlimited times. So from that logic, 0 to 9 is single 1 letter, 10 to 19 is 2 letters, and 100 is 3 letters. That means 3. So when you say something 100 times, it is as good as 1000 times, 1 crore times, etc. So in whatever it is, Srimad Bhagavatam talks about 100 such Paramahamsas. 100 such Paramahamsas who attained perfection in the entire Bhagavatam. So anyone who hears about 100 devotees definitely should become convinced about the process of bhakti, convinced about the perfection that bhakti promises that I will award. So one will become serious to practice bhakti. That's why from the very beginning to end, Srimad Bhagavatam is constantly trying to inspire us. Please see how these devotees have attained perfection. Please see how these devotees have practiced bhakti. Please see how these devotees have expressed their seriousness and sincerity in practicing bhakti. And please see how these devotees with the intent of understanding bhakti and Bhagavan have surrendered to a guru or unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like that, every pastime will tell us, in order to inspire us, if at all we want to understand about the Supreme Lord, we need to take shelter of a spiritual master. Tad vijnanartam sagurum eva abhigachet. Samitpani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. If at all we want to understand the Supreme Lord, we need to approach a spiritual master. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. Why? Because the spiritual master is Shrotriya Nishta and Brahma Nishta. He has firm conviction about the essence of the Vedic literatures, and he has firm conviction about the existence of the absolute truth in his personal future. And they are Tattva Darshana. They have personally seen and experienced. That's why they can give us that understanding and they can make us experience what they have experienced. So with this background, so let us try to see how, before getting it, every scripture that Srila Vasudeva written, it contains a specific mood. We have Mahabharata, we have Ramayana, we have Bhagavatam, we have many other Vedic literatures. Every book contains a specific mood, specific bhava. For example, Ramayana, it primarily focuses on how Karna Rasa is being exhibited throughout the Ramayana. Bhagavatam talks about Bhakti Rasa. Mahabharata talks about Rajaniti, etc. etc. So, though Bhagavatam talks about Bhakti Rasa, even within the Bhagavatam, we can see that each and every canto also try to highlight one particular mood, one particular theme. So I may be wrong, but this is how I am trying to see here. The first canto of Bhagavatam, trying to help us understand how a devotee should approach the Lord, how a disciple should approach a spiritual master, with what kind of mood one should take shelter of the Guru or Gauranga. Sharanagati, the mood of taking shelter of the Supreme Lord or one spiritual master. So this theme we can see from the beginning of first canto till the end of the first canto through the medium of various personalities. In the very first chapter, we can see that how the sages of Naimisharanya have taken shelter of Sutta Goswami, and they are telling that Tvamna sandarshita data dustaram nishitisam kalim satva haram pumsham karnadara ivarnavam. This material existence is like the huge ocean. There is only way to go beyond this material ocean is taking the shelter of a boat and under the able guidance of a expert captain. And Srimad Bhagavat Katha, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is one such boat. And the captain is the speaker. And they are telling that you are an expert captain. Please speak Bhagavatam and deliver us from this ocean of material existence. Because just now Kali Yuga began. Sattva haram. Kali Yuga will destroy all the good qualities. You are only our hope. Please become the captain of our ship and deliver us or take us across the ocean of material existence. So this is how we can see how sages of Naimisharanya are expressing their surrender unto Srila Sutta Goswami. And similarly, they also ask, okay, we have the good fortune of you in front of us. We can directly take shelter of you. Then what about the people of Kali Yuga who are going to take birth in the future? Whom they will take shelter? Sutta Goswami says that the people in Kali Yuga take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishne swabhamubhagate dharma jnanadibhi saha kalau nashta drusham esha puranarko adunodita. Srimad Bhagavatam appeared in the current Kali Yuga as the sun which can give us the direction to go back home, back to Godhead. So Srimad Bhagavatam can act as shelter or Karnadara, the captain for all of us. So then, next, Srila Vasudev, in spite of compiling all the Vedic literatures consisting of the Vedas, Upavedas, Vedangas, Upanishads, Puranas, some Itihasas, he was not happy at that. And immediately Narada Muni comes. Immediately surrenders to Narada Muni and he requests Narada Muni, please tell me the reason for my dissatisfaction and tell me the remedy for my dissatisfaction. Wherein Srila Vyasadeva says that Asya evame sarvam idam tvayoktam tatapi natma paritushyato me tanmoolam avyaktam agada bhogam pruchamahe tvatma bhavatma bhutam tanmoolam avyaktam agada bodham. And one more thing, just now we said that when we take shelter of spiritual master, and the spiritual master, if he is understood the essence of the Vedic literatures, he can impart upon that. So this point is again and again indicated in the Bhagavatam. It is not that anyone and everyone can be accepted as the master. Only those who are coming in the parampara, only those who have understood the essence of Shastra can impart that to the surrendered souls. So that's why here Narada Muni is understood as Agada Bodham. Because you are not only Agada Bodham, you are also the son of self-manifested Brahma. So you can understand what is the problem in me, why I am going through this dissatisfaction. Please help me come out of this situation. So this is another person we can see in Bhagavatam first canto how he is surrendering to Guru. And while answering to Vyasadeva, Sri Narada Muni talks about himself. In his previous life, he was the son of a maid servant. He was a small boy, 4, 5 years old boy. The Bhakti Vedantas who constantly travel, during the rainy season they decided to stay at one place, during which his mother, the Narada Muni's mother, engaged in the service of the Bhakti Vedantas. So Narada Muni as a boy, in order to assist his mother, also was engaging in the service of the Bhakti Vedantas. As a result of this service attitude, the Bhakti Vedantas bestowed unlimited mercy upon Narada Muni. As a result of that, the small boy became Narada Muni. So this also we can see how Narada Muni took shelter of the Guru. And then eventually as you go further, there are many personalities come again and again. Even when Ashwatthama, after killing the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi, when Draupadi insisted, please get that criminal, when Arjuna goes to catch Ashwatthama, Ashwatthama released Brahmastra, even though he does not know how to withdraw it. Then Arjuna, seeing the disaster that Brahmastra is creating, surrenders to Lord Krishna. Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara. Even though the subject matter seems to be different, but what Arjuna says is very important. Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara. My dear Lord, it is you who only can award Abhaya to anyone under any circumstance. Not only a difficult situation like this, I am afraid of Brahmastra. Not like that. Even any circumstance, one can take shelter of Lord Krishna, who can award fearlessness. Same way, just after that, after withdrawing this Brahmastra, Ashwatthama released one more Brahmastra to destroy the last remnant of the Pandavas, that is Parikshit Maharaj, who is in the womb of Uttara. When the Brahmastra is coming to hit Uttara takes shelter of Lord Krishna. She also says same thing. Pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagatpate na anyam tvad abhayam pashe yatra mrityu parasparam. Except you, no one in this world are fearless and can award fearlessness to somebody else. So only you are the worthy object of taking shelter, if at all one want to get fearlessness. And then, after protecting Parikshit Maharaj in the womb of Uttara, when Lord Krishna was about to leave, Kunti Maharani expresses her surrender towards Lord Krishna, wherein she says, Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alakshate Sarva Bhutanam Antar Bahir Avastitam. And one more thing, just like if we want to surrender to a Guru, we should understand the qualification of the Guru. Similarly, in order to surrender to Supreme Lord, we also should know about the Supreme Lord. Without knowledge, if one surrenders, that surrender does not continue for long. Here Kunti Maharani in her verse, in her prayer, she is indicating who the Supreme Lord is. Namaste Purusham Tvadyam. You are the Purusha. You are the controller. So Lord Krishna says, no, there are many controllers. Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, they are also controllers. Brahma, Shiva also. But you are the Adi Purusha. They are all controllers, but they are secondary controllers. You are the first controller. You are Adi Purusha. And no, they are also Adi Purushas. They may be Adi Purushas according to themselves, but still they act under the control of Prakriti. You are Prakrite Param. Ishwaram Prakrite Param. And then, no, they are also situated above Prakriti. Then Kunti Maharani says that, no, not like that. Alaksham Sarva Bhutanam Antar Bahir Avastitam. You not only situated beyond the control of Prakriti, but you exist inside and outside of every living entity. Andantarastha paramanucha antarastam. Alaksham sarva bhutanam. You are not seen by everyone and anyone. There is a special qualification required to see you, to understand you, something like that. So, then she says, Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Even though Lord Krishna, she said that Alakshase Sarva Bhutanam, in the next verse she also says that Maya Javanika Chennam, you are actually covered by a curtain of Maya. You cannot be seen by anyone and everyone. Even the great sages cannot understand, cannot see you, what to speak of a simple lady like me. But still, you are accessible to your devotees. You are intimately, you are very closely connected to your devotees. How? Krishnaya, Vasudevaya, Devaki Nandanaya cha, Nandagopa Kumaraya, Govindaya, Namo Namaha. Your accessibility can be easily understood by your very name. Your name itself says that you are Nandagopa Kumaraya, Devaki Nandanaya, Vasudeva Nandanaya. So they always tell that you are close connection with them. So in that way. So like this, Kunti Maharani expresses her surrender. And then in the next chapter we see how Bhishma expresses his surrender. Though Bhishma is a great devotee from Mahabharata point of view, we see him in the side of Kauravas. We may think that what happened to Bhishma, why he is doing like this? But we understand what is there in the core of the heart at the end. He was eagerly anticipating that Lord Krishna should be standing in front of me when I am leaving my body. And Bhishma expresses his gratitude to Lord Krishna. My dear Lord, thank you very much. You have come all the way here. You not only came, you brought 5 Pandavas. You not only brought 5 Pandavas, you brought everyone in this world. All the greatest of the universe are there present in front of Bhishma at that time. And looking at Lord Krishna with the pleasing countenance, Bhishma left his body and reunited with Lord Krishna in his Nitya-lila. That's the eagerness of Bhishma. So like that, if you go further, later on, after settling everything in Hastinapura, after making the Pandavas as the monarch of the entire Jambudvipa, while Lord Krishna was returned to Dwaraka, the Hastinapura Vasis, we may hear about the Pandavas are great devotees, Bhishma is a great devotee, Kunti Maharani, Uttarayana, they are all great devotees. Even the Hastinapura Vasis, not only men, even the ladies are great devotees of Lord Krishna. When Lord Krishna was leaving, the Hastinapura ladies offering their heartfelt feelings towards Lord Krishna while being situated on the terraces. The men were able to see Krishna very close by. Lord Krishna was living in his chariot. The men are standing on both the sides. But the ladies, they were in the rooftops, and from there they were looking at Lord Krishna and offering their heartfelt prayers. So Bhagavatam says that Anyonyam Asi Sanjalpa Uttama Shloka Chetasam Kauravendra Purastrinam Sarva Shruti Manohara. The words these ladies are speaking, they even attracted the hearts of the Shrutis. We say that the Vedas are the topmost word of all the Vedic literature. But the Vedas are becoming astonished by hearing the words spoken by the Hastinapur ladies. This is their surrender. This is their bhakti towards Lord Krishna. Even when Lord Krishna enters into Dwaraka, the Dwaraka Vasis who are eagerly anticipating Lord Krishna's arrival, because Lord Krishna went long back for the battle of Kurukshetra, a long time passed. When the Dwaraka Vasis understood that Lord Krishna is arriving, they came immediately running to the outskirts of the city to welcome Lord Krishna. At that time, the feeling of the Dwaraka Vasis is that, my dear Lord Krishna, in your absence, one kshana appears to be like, how? Tatrabda koti pratima kshano bhavet. Every kshana is equal to koti abda, 1 crore years. This is the eagerness with which the Dwaraka Vasis are welcoming Lord Krishna. The Dwaraka Vasis are eagerly anticipating to see and to be with Lord Krishna always. One moment without Lord Krishna is like Abda Koti Vastara. 1 crore years for Dwaraka Vasis. This is their eagerness to be with Lord Krishna. So like that, we can see the various personalities in the first canto of Bhagavatam, how they are eagerly to be with Krishna, to take shelter of the great devotees. When Vidura returns to Hastinapur, Yudhishthir Maharaj very eagerly serves, very eagerly receives Vidura. Because for Yudhishthir Maharaj, Vidura carrying Krishna in his heart. Currently, after becoming the king of Hastinapura, Krishna left Hastinapura. And Yudhishthira Maharaj feeling the separation from Lord Krishna. When Vidura came back, Vidura again felt Krishna is here with us. Bhavad Vida Bhagavata Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibhu Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Svantastena Gadabhuta. You are holy place personified. Wherever you go, you turn that place into holy place. Because you carry the lotus feet of Lord Krishna in your heart. Now, I can be freed from the feeling of separation from Lord Krishna by your auspicious presence. This is the eagerness. Even later on, when Arjuna goes to Dwaraka, sees that Lord Krishna disappears, when he comes back to Hastinapur, Yudhishthira Maharaj asks, what happened? Arjuna says, Yasya kshana viyogena. One moment separation from Lord Krishna appears as if there is no meaning of this world, living in this world. Lokoyam apriya darshana. The entire world becomes displeasing without Krishna. That means, in the absence of Krishna, there is no point of living here. That is the mood of Arjuna. That mood Arjuna expresses, but Yudhishthira Maharaj exhibits it. Hearing that immediately, without uttering even one word, he removes his crown, puts on the head of Parikshit Maharaj, and without uttering a word, starts walking towards north. If Krishna is not there, we have nothing to do with this world. If Krishna is there, we have everything to do with this world. This is the mood exhibited by both Arjuna, Yudhishthira Maharaj, and also other Pandavas. The same thing Mother Earth also says after Lord Krishna's departure. Kava saheta purushosamasya. Who can tolerate the separation from Lord Krishna? Because till now, in the association of Lord Krishna, my body was exhibiting happiness. Now, without the touch of lotus feet of Lord Krishna, I am in intense pain. Kava saheta piraham purushotyamasya prema valoka ruchitam svitavalgu talpa. So, like that, each and every personality, they express their eagerness, their mood of surrender towards Lord Krishna. Finally, we can see how Parikshit Maharaj, he understanding that he only had 7 days to live, he is being cursed by Shamika Rishi to die, Shringi to die in 7 days by the bite of a snake. In spite of that, when he saw that all the great sages came to Parikshit Maharaj, he was very much grateful to each and every personality who came to him. And is expressing his gratitude to each one of them. Aho vayam danyataman rupanam mahattamanu grahaniya shila rajnam kulam brahmana pada sauchad durad visushtam batagarya karma. The sages in general keep the kshatriyas at a far distance. But even though I am a kshatra bandhu, Parikshit Maharaj says, I am a kshatra bandhu, I am not a kshatriya. I am an imitation kshatriya. But still, all of you, out of compassion, have come to me at this important moment of my life. I am very much grateful to all of you. He expresses his eagerness. Aho vayam danyatama. We are greatly fortunate because we had the association of all you wonderful personalities. Let that snake can come and bite me whenever it wants. But this is only my request to all of you. Please continue to sing the glories of Lord Vishnu. Dashatvalam Gayata Vishnu Gata. This is only my request to all of you that please continue to sing the glories of Lord Vishnu. This should be the mood with which one should approach the Acharya, the Guru, and the Supreme Lord. This is the theme of first canto. And then the theme of second canto is Jignasa. Okay, we are approaching Supreme Lord, but for what reason? To understand about the Supreme Lord, to understand about the means to attain the Supreme Lord. With that intention, one should inquire from the spiritual master what I am supposed to do at this point of time, so that I can understand what to do and what I am supposed to attain. Atapruchami samsiddhim yoginam paramam guru purushasyeha yatkaryam muryamanasya sarvada. Oh my dear great sage, please tell me what is the highest perfection and what is the means to attain that highest perfection. So with this inquiry, Parikshit Maharaj inspires Sukadeva Goswami to speak Bhagavatam. So as an answer to this, the Sukadeva Goswami says that the highest perfection is to attain shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For that there are so many means, but the best means is Bhakti, which is established by all the great sages, even which is personally established by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. There is no other auspicious path other than Bhakti to easily, to quickly attain the shelter of Lord's lotus feet. Bhakti. So my dear sir, what do you mean by Bhakti? Bhakti means Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. So Bhakti means these 9 things. Parikshit Maharaj says, my dear sir, I only have 7 days. Please don't tell me so many things. Tell me one thing which I can follow, which is suitable for me at this point of time when I am about to die. So Sukadeva Goswami says, Shravanam is more suitable for you to do in the remaining 7 days. So my dear sir, thank you very much. You have told me to do Shravanam. So for me to do Shravanam, there should be someone should speak. If no one speaks, how will I do Shravanam? So please speak Krishna Katha. I sincerely, humbly request you to speak Krishna Katha so that I can do some Shravanam, so that I can perfect my life. Samichinam vacho brahman sarva jnasya tavanaga tamo vishiryate mayyam harer katayata katam. Please speak Harikatha so that I can invest my body, my senses, my mind, my heart, my consciousness in the Supreme Lord while giving up my life. Please continue to speak Krishna Katha. Continue to speak various past and Supreme Lord. Continue to speak about the Supreme Lord. So here, Parikshit Maharaj makes an inquiry to speak about Srishti Leela. But from our theme point of view, we have understood that the most auspicious path is Bhakti. Unto whom? Unto Bhagavan. But the question might come, why Bhagavan? Why not somebody else? Why not Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu? Why Bhagavan only? Then, Sri Sukadeva Goswami establishes who Bhagavan is. Without proper understanding of Bhagavan, our surrender to Bhagavan will remain superficial. Before beginning the process of bhakti, we need to have proper understanding of Bhagavan. Otherwise, that understanding will become unsteady. So in the next 3-4 chapters, Sri Sukadeva Goswami establishes who Bhagavan is. What is the connection between Bhagavan and we? Normally we hear about Ganeshji, Hanumanji, and this Devata, that Devata, Surya, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu. In comparison to all these Devatas, who is Bhagavan? By talking Srishti Leela, Srimad Bhagavatam second canto establishes that within the one breathing time of Mahavishnu, who is an expansion of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, all the universe are created, maintained and destroyed. One breathing of Mahavishnu is equal to 100 years of Lord Brahma. And within 100 years of Lord Brahma, there are 360 into 100 days. And within each day, there is a change of 14 Devatas. 14 times the Devatas are changing. The Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, all such Devatas are changing 14 times. If somebody says that, and no problem, you can worship Indra also, Chandra also, Varuna also, Ganesh also, this also, that also. But all these Devatas in comparison to Brahma, they are changing 14 times within a day of Brahma. And Brahma's life itself is 360,000 times into 14 times more than that of Devatas. And that Brahma's whole lifespan of 100 years is one breathing span of Mahavishnu. And that Mahavishnu is an expansion of the expansion of the expansion of Sri Krishna. And try to understand who Krishna is and who Devatas are. Without such understanding, very difficult. And somebody may say, why you people are always Krishna, Krishna? Why not Vishnu? No problem, Vishnu also. Not only Vishnu, Lord's various avasaras. Any avatara you want to serve, serve. So Brahma speaks, in this section, Bhagavatam speaks about the different avatars of Supreme Lord. No problem, you want to serve Lord Varaha, serve. But become the devotee of Supreme Lord, no problem. And what to speak of Bhagavan? Even if you want to serve Brahman Paramatma, no problem. That is also being described. But surrender is important. Service is important. So that is how, in the first 3 chapters, second canto establishes the means. And the next 4 chapters, Bhagavatam establishes for whom we have to practice bhakti. Who is he? Without understanding who is he, our surrender, our practice of bhakti are all superficial. Now, third part. Okay, that is fine. There is bhakti we need to practice. There is Bhagavan for whom we have to practice bhakti. But where do we understand about bhakti and Bhagavan? That is Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is the scripture from which we can understand about bhakti and Bhagavan. So what is Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam is that scripture which is spoken by Lord Narayana himself unto Brahma, the firstborn living unit in this universe. Okay, fine. I need to take shelter of Guru, hear Bhagavatam, understand Bhakti, understand Bhagavan, and then practice Bhakti. What I am going to get? I am happy here. Everything is fine. So Bhagavatam says, you will go to Vaikuntha. What is Vaikuntha? Why should I go to Vaikuntha? This chapter, till the previous verse, 17th verse, talks about what is Vaikuntha. How Vaikuntha is different from this world. Just 2 minutes, I'll conclude with this. We need to understand about Bhakti and Bhagavan. We need to serve Bhagavan by the practice of Bhakti for going to Vaikuntha. But we need to understand why we need to go to Vaikuntha. What is the problem if we remain here in this world? And what is so special about Vaikuntha? The distinction between the material world and spiritual world is Nachakala Vikrama. Na Maya Nachakala Vikrama. The material world is constantly influenced by Kala and Maya. The spiritual world is never influenced by Kala and Maya. So what do you mean by Kala Maya? The influence of Kala comes in the form of the transformation in 6 changes. The moment we take birth, we start growing. We get married, give byproducts, and we stay for some time. We dwindle, we die one day. These 6 transformations are due to the influence of Kala, which happens in the material world. In the spiritual world, there is no birth, no growth, no dwindling, no old age, no death. No such kind of 6 transformations exist in the spiritual world. There is no influence of Kala in the spiritual world. Then, in the material world, after going through these 6 transformations, we give up this body, we enter into a new body. That happens under the influence of Maya. In the spiritual world, there is no such change. There is no transition. There is no growth only, then there will be the transition. In the spiritual world, along with the Supreme Lord, everyone for the rest of eternity remains as a sweet 16-year-old boy or girl. Santam Vayasi Kaishore. That is what is described in this chapter. How the Vaikuntha Vasis look like, how Mother Lakshmi look like, how Lord Vishnu look like. Sweet 16-year-old boy or girl. They will never grow further. They will remain like that only for the rest of eternity. This is the nature of Vaikuntha Vasis. That is the nature of Vaikuntha. Nacha Kala Vikrama. So, if at all one want to have an eternal life, and if at all one want to have, another important thing is that in this material world, people get to see the Lord once in a while when Lord appears in Avatara. Or people get to serve the deity of the Lord. But in the spiritual world, people get to serve the Lord for the rest of eternity continuously in person only. This opportunity will be there only in the spiritual world. If at all one want to have this opportunity, one want to have that kind of lifestyle, one want to live in that kind of abode, this is the means, this is the process. So in that way, the second canto talks about Jignasa. When we have eagerness to understand what is what, we need to approach a bona fide spiritual master or the Supreme Lord or the Bhagavatam, which will tell us about all these things. So that with the proper understanding, we can practice Bhakti in a proper way and can go back home back to Godhead in no time. So these are few words from today's verse. Yat Paramahamsena patadi gammate. This is the path of Paramahamsas. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Bhakta ki jai. Hare Krishna. Since time is up, we will not take any questions.